What do you mean? You married 10 years? We raised kids. How would you respond? Hollywood is reeling after Tom Cruise's confession. It's not who you think. In an emotional moment, the megastar disclosed the identity of his love of my life. Believe us, your jaw will drop. Forget red carpets, A-listers, and romances. Prominent news. This is a complete unknown. Exactly who is she? Why now? And what made her memorable? Follow the mystery as it unfolds. The secret love. Tom Cruise did something no blockbuster, stunt, or Hollywood twist could match at 62. He surprised everyone with the truth. The world has watched him soar on film for decades, climb buildings and fly fighters. He's been an action hero, heartthrob, and mega success. However, a rare moment of vulnerability has exposed something more personal and intimate. Biggest surprise? His true love was never Nicole Kidman, Katie Holmes, or Penelope Cruz. These women walked red carpets, made headlines, and became household names with him. Cruz claimed that none of them touched him most. He calmly revealed that she was never famous. She wasn't needed. This anonymous woman has never strolled with him in public for cameras. Despite having no glitzy premieres or YouTube love, she has always been there, watching from behind the fame, waiting, adoring. This woman lasted through his most difficult times, his tangled Scientology links, his public marriages and divorces, and his reinventions. While others left, she stayed. She stood firm during the media storm. She remained constant, quiet, loyal. Why has Cruise waited so long to speak? I wasn't ready for public exposure. I had to safeguard it, he whispered. Not fear, but reverence, he says. This love, unlike the others, wasn't for display or analysis. He considered it sacrosanct, too delicate for the flashing lights and gossip-hungry showbiz. In his late career, when the clamor surrounding him is softening, Cruise is revealing his private life. No tell-all interview or documentary, just a simple statement that speaks volumes. It goes beyond who he loved. His love is the focus. Deeply, silently, fully. We may never know her name or face, but this revelation's strength is in its mystery. It changes our view of Tom Cruise as a man of strong commitment and silent fidelity, not merely as a big actor. A love that lives in the shadows without likes, following, or headlines is timeless and even lyrical. In a time where everything is public, Cruise's story reminds us that some of the strongest loves are hidden. Tom Cruise, 62, is disclosing a secret and revising his story. He's reminding us that even the most acclaimed life can have an unexpected chapter. How was his personal life? Did he have kids? Let's explore Tom Cruise's romances. Lifestyle of glamour, love, and controversy. Hollywood superstar Tom Cruise lives a life of luxury, fame, intrigue, and drama. When not filming blockbusters, Cruise spends time at his Beverly Hills mansions, Clearwater, Florida, and southern England's tranquil countryside. As in his movies, his real life has been full of narrative twists, notably in love and relationships. In the 1980s, Cruise dated Melissa Gilbert of Little House on the Prairie and Cher, generating headlines. His 1987 marriage to actress Mimi Rogers was more serious. After 3 years, the marriage ended. Cruise's growing interest in a spiritual, almost monk-like lifestyle may have caused their breakup, according to some accounts. Cruise then married Nicole Kidman in 1990. Their marriage was a Hollywood sensation. The couple adopted 2 children and looked beautiful in public. Behind the scenes, things weren't so good. They divorced after 11 years in 2001, saying they had grown apart and couldn't find common ground. The media reported a miscarriage, but Kidman later revealed that it was an ectopic pregnancy, a severe disorder that happens outside the womb. Cruise dated Vanilla Sky co-star Penelope Cruz after his divorce. They dated from 2001 to 2004, but the romance waned. Strange rumors spread after their breakup. Cruise's dubious church, Scientology, reportedly organized covert auditions to find him a new companion. Actress Nazanin Boniadi was apparently involved in this odd hunt. Cruise and the church disputed these claims. Katie Holmes followed. Cruise and Holmes captivated the media in 2005. Their quick romance attracted fans worldwide, especially following Cruise's exuberant Oprah Winfrey Show appearance, where he hopped on the couch to confess his love. After having their daughter Suri in 2006, the couple enjoyed a dream wedding in an Italian castle. Ceremony ensued. Cruise's best man, David Miscavige, was a Scientologist, supporting the idea that the church was involved in the marriage. But the fairy tale ended. Holmes divorced unexpectedly in 2012. Media whispers said she wanted to protect Suri from Scientology's tremendous influence. Without a legal struggle, the separation was resolved quietly and promptly. After the divorce, verified long-time rumors in an interview that his daughter was no longer in the church. Public fascination with Tom Cruise's life continues. thanks to his complex personal life and legendary film roles. His narrative is unique, featuring fame, faith, and family. How did the film producer become famous? Let's examine Tom Cruise's journey from obscurity to fame, chaos to calling. Thomas Cruise Maypother IV was born in 1962 in Syracuse, New York, but his childhood was unusual. Storms plagued Tom's life from the start. His home was noisy, abused by his father. Tom lived on eggshells instead of experiencing tranquility and comfort like many children. In addition, he was always moving. He attended over a dozen schools before becoming an adult. Each new classroom offered new faces, problems, and the same sense of never belonging. Rough beginnings had a profound effect. He was built. Every move, difficult event, and confusing day taught him to adapt. His bitterness didn't grow. His strength increased. He glimpsed a new future in his teens. Tom attended a Catholic seminary briefly, possibly seeking stability and direction. Or something greater. He wasn't meant to go that way. Unexpectedly, a school play ignited it. He felt purpose and aliveness for the first time on a little stage in front of a small crowd. But life didn't get easier. Tom had undiagnosed dyslexia, which made reading and studying difficult. Teachers and classmates didn't catch on. Many thought he wasn't working hard enough. He was called lazy or slow. Tom secretly plotted his own rebellion against the world's constraints, not others. Not shouting. He didn't argue. Just kept pushing. A second could have crushed him. Instead of abandoning up, he saw it as a sign. If not the field, the stage. Maybe stories instead of sports. The tipping moment. Acting was no longer a hobby. His lifeline. Only there did he not feel shattered or behind. He could transform, express, and shine there. Tom moved to New York City at 18 with $500 and a passionate dream. He worked minor jobs like portering baggage and busboying tables to survive. He aimed to become an actor behind every plate he cleared and every floor he wiped. He changed his name to Tom Cruise, something simple, recognizable, and bold, to start over. He wanted a name the world would remember, and they did. The search for meaning by a disturbed youngster became one of Hollywood's most famous journeys. Tom Cruise went from school stage to global celebrity, not simply for films. Grit, tenacity, and believing in yourself when others don't are key. When did Tom Cruise finally break through? Discover what launched the Hollywood star. Breakthrough. Brilliance. Launching a star. Hollywood didn't welcome Tom Cruise with fireworks. His early roles were small. Small parts, fleeting appearances, but he caught people's attention. Despite limited screen time, he left an impression with constant affection and touches. It was more than his delivery. He had energy. He had fire in his eyes, restlessness in his motions, and resolve that jumped off the screen. Not just a role. Even while not in the spotlight, he tried to master every moment. The shift followed. Outsiders allowed him more room to shine, but hazardous business changed the game. Cruise, in a shirt, socks, and confidence, danced to Bob Seger's old-time rock and roll on the floor in one iconic scene. That spontaneous moment became a movie classic, replayed many times. Cruise had become more than a hopeful actor. A breakout star. Cool, charismatic, and unmissable. But Cruise wasn't after celebrity for pleasure. He surprised everyone by declining the lead in Footloose, a definite smash, and instead accepted a role in Ridley Scott's epic picture legend. A brave move. Cruise took risks, unlike most young actors. He didn't seek immediate success. He was craft-oriented. He wanted to test himself. To walk untraveled paths and grow in ways easier positions wouldn't. Top Gun debuted in 1986. Was no longer a star. He was amazing. He symbolized confidence and courage as Maverick, the fearless jet pilot. Cruise became famous after the film's box office success. Not simply the fashionable aviator shades or exhilarating jet sequences. He carried himself. Swagger, smirk, memorable line. I feel the need for speed. Young fans idolized him, and recruitment into the U.S. Navy even spiked. He had become more than just an actor. He was now a cultural icon. But Cruise wasn't satisfied with just action hero status. He wasn't going to coast on charm and fame alone. He sought roles that would stretch him, that would test his emotional depth. In The Color of Money, he stood alongside screen legend Paul Newman, absorbing all he could. Then came Rain Man, where Cruise portrayed a conflicted brother to Dustin Hoffman's autistic character. It was a role filled with emotional layers, and Cruise handled it with sincerity and nuance. Viewers began to see a new side of him, not just the charming daredevil, but a serious actor with real range. Suddenly, critics were paying attention. This wasn't just the guy from Risky Business anymore. He was showing vulnerability, emotional weight, and dramatic maturity. He could make audiences laugh, cry, and reflect, all in the same film. What makes Tom Cruise's early journey so compelling is that he never chased fame just for its own sake. Right from the beginning, there was a spark, an insatiable hunger to become better, to push boundaries, to do more. Whether dancing in his underwear or flying through the skies at Mach speed, wasn't just becoming famous, he was becoming unstoppable. And this was only the beginning of a remarkable ride. Is there a different version of Tom Cruise outside the spotlight? Let's dive into the image he has created for himself. Beyond the spotlight, depth, drama, and devotion. In 1989, Tom Cruise made a decision that would forever change the way the world saw him. Up until that point, had been the face of charm and adventure, the clean-cut heartthrob of Hollywood. But when he took on the lead role in Born on the 4th of July, everything shifted. Wasn't just taking another job. He was risking his entire public image. He stepped into the shoes of Ron Kovac, a real-life Vietnam War veteran who was paralyzed in combat and later became an outspoken anti-war activist. This wasn't the type of role people expected from Cruise. It was painful, political, and deeply emotional. To play Kovac convincingly, Cruise didn't just memorize lines. He fully immersed himself in the life and world of the man he was portraying. He spent months in a wheelchair, learning how to navigate the world the way Kovac did. He read about the war, sat with Kovac himself, and absorbed every detail of his experience. The transformation was remarkable. Gone was the sleek movie star with a perfect smile. What audiences saw instead was a man filled with pain, confusion, and courage. The performance stunned viewers and critics alike. Born on the 4th of July became a massive hit, not just at the box office, but in the hearts of people who watched it. Cruise won a Golden Globe for Best Actor and earned his very first Oscar nomination. It was official. He was no longer just an action hero. He was now being taken seriously as a powerful, dedicated actor, an artist willing to go all in for his craft. But while Cruise's career was evolving in public, his personal and spiritual journey was taking shape behind the scenes. 2 years before the film, in 1987, he had married actress Mimi Rogers. Through her, he was introduced to the Church of Scientology, a belief system that would soon become a defining part of his life. Cruise later opened up about how Scientology helped him overcome one of his biggest personal struggles, dyslexia. For years, reading had been a mountain too steep to climb. But through the church's teachings and techniques, he said he was finally able to read clearly, a moment he described as life-changing. Even after his marriage to Rogers ended, didn't turn away from the faith. On the contrary, he leaned into it even more. He studied its doctrines with intensity and began to speak publicly about how much it had changed his life. As time passed, Cruise became the most well-known face of Scientology. He wasn't just practicing the faith, he was actively promoting it, proud of what it had done for him and eager for others to understand it. This devotion reached a high point in 2004 when the Church of Scientology awarded him the Freedom Medal of Valor, an honor given only to the most loyal and outspoken followers. The moment was both celebrated and criticized. Some admired his commitment. Others were skeptical and uneasy. His defense of Scientology, paired with his efforts to normalize and promote it, often led to heated public discussions. Love him or question him, one thing is certain, Tom Cruise has never been content with staying in one lane. He's always searching for growth, for meaning, for truth, whether through the characters he plays or the beliefs he holds. Cruise keeps pushing boundaries. He reminds us that reinvention doesn't come from staying comfortable. It comes from taking risks, facing challenges, and being unafraid to change. And that's what makes his story not just surprising, but endlessly captivating. Tom Cruise portrayed a special character in an American action drama. Let's take a look at the professionalism displayed by Tom Cruise. Mission? Possible. The Maverick's cinematic evolution. When the clock struck midnight and the world stepped into a new millennium, Hollywood was already in the middle of a transformation, and at the heart of it was Tom Cruise. No longer just the charming, clean-cut guy from Top Gun or Jerry Maguire, Cruise took a bold leap into action hero territory with his role as Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible series. This wasn't just another movie role. It was the beginning of a new chapter, both for Cruise and for action. Cinema made Cruise stand out wasn't just the role itself, but how far he was willing to go to make it real. While most actors allowed stunt doubles or green screens to handle the risky parts, Cruise decided to do something few dared to try. He did nearly all of his own stunts. Whether it was clinging to the side of a flying airplane, holding his breath underwater for an impossible length of time, or sprinting across rooftops in high-speed chases, Cruise put his body on the line, again and again. Each daring move wasn't just a display of physical courage, it was a message to audiences. This is real. In a world where digital effects can create explosions, aliens, and entire planets with the click of a mouse, Cruise's old-school dedication to realism became his signature. It wasn't just about entertaining, it was about earning the audience's trust. You could see the sweat, the struggle, the stakes. He wanted you to feel the danger, and he made sure you did. But there's more to Cruise than high-speed chases and jaw-dropping stunts. What many don't see is the man behind the camera, the one who doesn't just read a script but studies it line by line. Cruise is known for poring over details, rehearsing scenes over and over, and pushing his team to deliver their best. On set, he's not just the star. He's a driving force. Directors admire him. Co-stars learn from him, and crew members respect him for his tireless work ethic. He shows up early, stays late, and never phones it in. His film choices are as varied as they are bold. In Minority Report, he navigated a dark future where crimes are stopped before they happen. In Edge of Tomorrow, he played a soldier caught in a time loop, dying and coming back to life, until he could change the outcome. In Jerry Maguire, he shifted gears completely, delivering one of the most heartfelt performances of his career as a struggling sports agent trying to find his soul. Whether it's science fiction, romance, or high-octane action, adapts like few others can. He's not afraid to take risks, to look foolish, or to reinvent himself when the moment calls for it. Audiences cheer, critics often praise, and the box office numbers don't lie. Yet, for all the attention and spotlight, Tom Cruise himself remains something of an enigma. He's been in the public eye for decades, yet people still wonder who is the real Tom Cruise. Behind the sharp smile and fearless performances lies a man who guards his personal life closely. While his movies reveal intensity, vulnerability, and drive, the man behind the mask keeps most of his thoughts to himself. Maybe that's part of the allure. Maybe that's why people keep watching. Because just like the characters he plays, always leaves something hidden, something that makes you lean in, watch closer, and wonder what's really going on beneath the surface. So while the world sees the explosions, the epic stunts, and the blockbuster hits, Tom Cruise continues to operate with the quiet precision of a man chasing something more. Not just applause, not just fame, but perhaps a sense of mastery. A perfectionist with the heart of a performer, he isn't just making movies, he's building a legacy. And maybe that's the most thrilling mission of all. So what do you think about Tom Cruise's romance? Rough journey and adventures? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.